Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am deleted scenes, human being, American, and YouTube Roman. I would like to welcome you to this special edition live review of Longlegs. Already in the chat, we have FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member, the bird woman of YouTube. Watch out for her second channel, Fluff Chick Productions, Connie Cleary. My partner in crime and co-host of the Mystery Movie Night podcast, which you can see this upcoming Monday night at 10 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I know you're all really here, Sin's Corner. All right. Now, before I go on with my review of the film, I obviously want to make note of the I'm going to call it what it was, folks. The assassination attempt on former President Trump. He is alive. He was hit in the ear. Unfortunately, there were two spectators who were attending the rally who were hit. And from what I understand, very sadly, one of them has died. Obviously, my condolences go out to the family of the individual who was killed, and a speedy recovery to former President Trump and the other person who was shot and injured today. I'm going to be talking more about this tomorrow night on a special edition of Unscripted. I am going to I'm going to be obviously changing the topic of the show. And thank you very much to Fletcher Williams for on the fly coming up with a new thumbnail for that. But of course, as we say here on YouTube, the show must go on. And I heard about the assassination attempt as I was leaving the theater. I heard about it from our friend Brandon, the anime guy, who DM'd me that this had taken place. And of course, the movie that I saw this evening was the long-awaited, much hyped, including by me, Longlegs, directed by Osgood Perkins, written by him as well, starring Micah Monroe, Nicolas Cage, Blair Underwood, and Alicia Witt. Let's see comments in the chat. All right. This is a film that's getting a lot of comparisons to Silence of the Lambs, because it is about a fledgling FBI agent who was placed onto the case, long-running cold case of a serial killer who calls himself Longlegs in these cryptic messages, kind of Zodiac style messages that he leaves for law enforcement. And this, for the lack of a better term, descent into hell that she takes in trying to find this guy who murders families on the birth dates of their daughters. And this character of Longlegs, who is played by Nicolas Cage in a performance unlike anything he's really done. I mean, he amps it up to 11, yes, but this is a different kind of character. This is a truly frightening character. You do not want to be in the same room as Longlegs. Now, when it comes to horror films, or as this movie would be considered, elevated horror, it is very difficult to scare me. So let me preface this next statement by making that clear. I am not easily frightened at movies. I did not find this movie personally scary. This is not next level scares or anything. But there is a sense of dread that permeates throughout this entire movie. And sometimes that kind of works better. You know, when Micah Monroe, I love you, great actress. I've seen her now in 3 films. She brings it. And you believe it when she's scared. And this poster shot that you see right here is from a scene in the film. And what she's looking at there is pretty messed up. You believe it when she's scared. You believe it when she's apprehensive. You believe it when she's curious. Because she's not an easy character to really get to know, because she's very prickly. You know, she doesn't let anybody in. She doesn't say a whole lot. She's very introverted. And there are reasons for that we come to find out throughout the film. This is a non-spoiler review. I may do a spoiler review later on, but for right now, this is a non-spoiler review. The violence in this movie, when it happens, is very intense. You get that from the trailer. And it's creepy stuff. It really is. Story-wise, in my opinion, it's well done. And it's not perfect. Okay, this movie is by no means perfect. People are going to have issues with this movie. I know a couple of people who I've spoken to behind the scenes who have told me they didn't like this movie, or that it didn't meet their expectations. And here and there I can understand. You know. Now, this is a movie where story-wise, it takes a turn. And you're either with it when it happens or you're not. And I think there is a point in the movie, there's a scene in the film where that's going to be the make it or break it for a general audience. I think horror audiences are going to love this movie. But anybody who is not going in with that mindset, who are going into this movie thinking they're going to see Silence of the Lambs Part 2 or some kind of a remake or reboot of that, that is not what this movie is. I mean, I'm happy it's getting the comparisons. That certainly helps with marketing. This movie is very much its own animal. And I use the term animal purposefully. Now, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get hit for using this particular term or not. But the character that Nicolas Cage plays, who is this killer that they're seeking, this Longlegs, he is a Satan worshiper. Straight up. They make no bones about that. He is a Satanist. He's quite deranged. He has his own way of looking at the world. And the movie does not explain away everything about him, so you are kind of left to wonder what his true origins are. And I don't want to go too deeply into that. But you start to question who he is or what he is based on some of the things he is capable of doing. I'll say that, but I won't say anymore. So you have to understand going in that you're dealing with a character who is next level. Hannibal Lecter will look at Longlegs and go, "Nope, I'm out." Nope, I can do nothing for this person. It's an intense movie, and this is a movie where you have to understand, very much like When Evil Lurks last year. This is a movie where no one is safe. And there is a point in the movie where it very much becomes about what are you willing to do to protect your loved ones. And someone does something in the process of doing that that's very dark. And this is a very dark film. This is not going to be a movie for everybody. There are going to be the people who are going to love this movie. There are going to be people who are going to think it's very good, or at least better than average. You've got the people who are going to think it's overhyped, and then there are going to be the people who just aren't going to be with this movie. This is going to be a very polarizing, very mixed film, and I can see it. For me, there are huge parts of it that worked. This is not a perfect movie. I have issues. The ending is in my opinion, the ending is abrupt. There is an important scene that happens towards the end that I felt needed a little bit of clarification, but I think that was on purpose, that you're kind of left to decide for yourself what happened after a certain event takes place. Again, I'm talking around plot points because I don't want to give too much away. Since says this film definitely did not have the same punch for me as When Evil Lurks. I wanted to like this more. It just didn't work for me. I clearly liked it better than Sin did. It's not as good as When Evil Lurks. I agree. Even though I'm kind of comparing the two because it had this, both movies have the same feel to them, to me personally. But I don't think this is as good. And that's fine. Comparing the two of them is kind of silly anyway, because they're two completely different movies. This is a serial killer film. That was more of like you're infected by evil film. I'll wait until it comes on a streaming service. I am recommending seeing this in theaters. I will say that much. I recommend seeing this in theaters, and see it in a theater that has a damn good sound system, because sound plays a lot into this movie. There were, I wasn't like I said, I wasn't. This movie does not have the next level scares that it's promising. In my opinion, it does not. However, there are a couple of points in it where they got me, where I was like, oh, hey, okay, that happened. Okay. But including one scene where I literally said, "Oh shit," in the middle of the theater with a crowd of people. And one thing that I want to say is this was like a bigger than usual crowd that I've seen at a first run movie in a while. Usually it's like me and like 5 or 6 other people. Here I was in a theater that was pretty safe to say more than half filled, maybe 2/3 filled. So and I didn't see anybody walking out, which I was glad about. This movie runs about according to Letterboxd, an hour and 41 minutes. Pacing wise, moves at a pretty good clip. It throws you into the story right away. You for the first few scenes, you kind of have to play catch up. And I think, and hello to Enigma. Look at the website that I showed last week on Unscripted, to kind of get, because there are details there that will enhance the film for you. Everything that is on the Birthday Murders website, it's not all in the film, but and you don't necessarily need to know it to follow the film, but it enhances certain things. And it makes you think about certain things that happen in the film. We in the YouTube sphere have been clamoring for original material to be released into theaters, and this movie is a ride. It's not going to be for everyone. Connie, if you do go see the movie, I'm very curious to see what your thoughts are on it. But I am going to recommend seeing this movie in theaters. It is intense. The actors across the board bring it. Cage is just a fucking maniac, as only he can. Micah Monroe, if you weren't keeping your eye on her before, do it now. She's great here. Alicia Witt, I don't know how much I can talk about her character without going into spoilers, but she becomes very important to the plot as the movie progresses. And for those of you who remember her from the 1984 Dune, Saint Alia of the Knife is in the fucking house. And buckle up, kids. This is a good one. I am recommending Longlegs. It's not the masterpiece it could have been. It's not the next level horror movie that it's being touted to be. But it is, in my opinion, very good. Not perfect, not next level, not a masterpiece. But it is, in my opinion, very good. I'm going to be curious to see what people's when we start seeing more reviews. I stayed away from all of the reviews for this. I watched maybe one or two like non-spoilery reviews, none of which gave the movie away in any fashion, and I've done my best not to do that here. But I dug it for what it is. And not the best film of the year by any means, but it's high up on my list right now. Whether or not it's still there at the end of the year, who's to say? But I know that there are a number of people who, who subscribe to my channel, who are fans of this style of film, or who are at least willing to give it a try. And I would like to, let me know once you've seen this movie. Let me know in the comments. Let me DM me on Twitter. Post your own reviews, because I would like to hear you out. This movie is an intense thrill ride that is well acted, well paced, very well shot and edited. It is not a perfect film. It will not be for everyone, but it is an original film, and thought went into it. And in this day of age of what Off the Cover refers to as a TikTok brain rot, we could have done worse than this. And we've had worse than this year. Everybody's not going to agree with me. I'm a thumbs up on this. Go see it in theaters. All right, now I want to talk a little bit about the trailers before this movie. There were 27 minutes of them. Regal, stop. Too many trailers. Get to the film, please, before I fall asleep. Please, I beg of you. All right. Well, I mean, we got the Deadpool and Wolverine, turn your phone off thing before the movie. We got the trailer for Sean Baker's new movie that has Mikey Madison in it, which is an expletive-filled red band trailer. Anora, something like that is the title of it. I don't know. It kind of looked like a Harmony Korine film without Harmony Korine, but if that makes any sense. We got the trailer for The Surrogate with Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley. That actually looks interesting. Comes out in September. I think I'm going to go give that a look. It's called The Substance. We got the trailer for Cuckoo, which is also a neon film with Dan Stevens and Hunter Schafer. It's the trailer we've seen before. It's online. You can check that trailer out. That looks like that might be somewhat interesting. I'm trying to remember what some of the other trailers were. Those were the ones that that was the first time I'd seen the trailer for The Substance. So, yeah, that was the standout trailer, I thought, of the group. But yeah, since I've noticed that Regal definitely starts their movies much later than Cinemark. Trailers at Cinemark last 15 to 20 minutes. At Regal, it's more like 25 plus. So annoying. Yeah. Didn't take away from my enjoyment of the film, but there was a point there where I was just like, can we get on with this, please? No. All right. Let's see. Connie says, saw the Wolverine Deadpool trailer Tuesday. With parents, and I saw Despicable Me 4. Oh, nice. All right. Yes. All right. That's it for the review. I am recommending this movie. It is not perfect by any means. I do have a few issues story wise here and there with it. But for the most part, I liked it for what it is, and I respect that it's not a sequel. It's not a franchise. It's an original film. It's likely a one-off, and I wasn't bored. I didn't feel like I wasted my time seeing it by any means. Like I said, I do have some issues here and there with it, but I can't really go into those without going like really deep into spoilers. And this is a non-spoiler review because this movie is just now coming out widely into theaters finally. So yeah, I'm recommending Longlegs. All right, I would like to thank everyone who joined us on Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Please hit the like, share out the stream, subscribe to my channel if you are new to it. I want to thank everyone who joined us in the chat for Sin's Corner. Tim, Connie, Enigma, JPRPH1 is joining us, as well as Emoji Queen, the Lady Mist. Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Now, I know I pushed back the time of this review because of breaking news. And once again, prayers to and good thoughts to all those affected during the assassination attempt on former President Trump earlier today. Thank you to Brandon, the anime guy, for giving me the heads up. Thank you all for supporting my channel. I am now up to 2,217 subs. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And there will be more content coming soon. Longlegs. Please check it out, theaters. From HQ and all points, north, south, east, west, and beyond. Good night. Take care. Stay strong, because this is how we win.